Hello, this is the first of two editions that I am making to the last video of the occurrence of the swastika in the Danubian region of 6000 BC, and more specifically on the so-called frog-leg swastikas. These gems, of which around 6 or 7 have been dug up on different places in Bulgaria, mainly, are made of nephrite, and nephrite is very rare in this region. It is assumed these gems mostly came from a source in Poland, but it is also possible that a more local source has been since then been depleted, or that a natural event like a landslide in the area has destroyed the accessibility to the mines. Nephrite is one of the hardest stones, not as hard as jade, but it was valued very much all through the Neolithic. It was used for making the best tools. So there's a global occurrence of Neolithic tools manufactured in nephrite. This manufacturing process would be the groundstone technique. Basically, the tools are made by abrasion rather than chipping. A universal method called using stone to grit and groom jade describes the use of minerals such as quartz, garnet, corundum, or diamond even, finely grounded into different grain sizes, and together with water or oil, these would be combined as abrasive when using a drill made of wood, stone, and later copper and other metals. It is important to keep in mind that for Neolithic man, even raw ore was a valuable currency. Having a set of tools that had been manufactured through excessive hard and enduring work would indeed suggest an even higher value for minerals that are very rare and difficult to find. Several of these nephrite swastikas have been unearthed from a layer just underneath the dwelling, and archaeologists concluded so far that these were in all probability a ritual gift imploring fertility. Here Marija Gimbutas was the first one to call these frogs or frog-like figurines another exemplary proof of these cultures being matriarchal, which has, this prompted me to go look for more examples in other parts of the world in which the frog or toad are connected to fertility. There are numerous examples of Neolithic figurines that have amphibic or reptilian features, and instead of freaking out about aliens or reptilians, I looked for a more reasonable explanation. It could be pretty simple, really, because we find ourselves at this point in time in what is referred to as the Holocene wet phase or the Neolithic subpluvial, and this is a time span from approximately 7,500 to 3000 BC, where in which during which also the arid areas of northern Africa and the Middle East became fertile due to seasonal rainfall. During this period, the desert would have been green. There are some specialists who point to the possibility that the introduction of agriculture that is like herding animals has played a significant role in the loss of this climate due to overgrazing, a statement that can be underlined with examples in the Middle East area today, like Jordan or Lebanon, but that left aside. The frog goddess could possibly find her origins in the fact that frogs and toads would announce the rain season everybody would be waiting for. And a good example of that would be the Egyptian goddess Heket. She is often shown together with Khnum, the potter god who creates humans from the Nile mud. Hecate would breathe a ka or soul into the body. She is also depicted with knives, and thus people assume she is a dark goddess, connected to death as she cuts the lifeline. I don't need to put emphasis on the fact that a midwife would be the one cutting the navel string. Goddesses are often regarded as threefold: the virgin, the mother, and the crone. She gives life and she takes it, leading the soul back into the great womb where they would await the time of rebirth. This process of regeneration relates to the meaning attached to the symbol of the swastika in many cultures, and sadly this all was lost during the last millennia, in which a more linear and dualistic way of thinking took over. The three faces of one goddess became separated, and the goddess Hecate of the underworld is a good example, as she becomes the dark goddess, the witch. I don't need to point out the role of the toad or the frog in witches' lore. In contrast to the West, where the church patriarchs have done their best to connect this great mother goddess to all things bad and evil, the concept of toads and frogs symbolizing luck and fertility still lingers on in folklore in Asia, for example. The villagers in India, some villagers in India still perform a yearly ritual in which the frogs are married, and the coming of the yearly monsoon is implored. We find ritual temples and shrines throughout the East, each and every one of them connected to fertility, renewal, and regeneration, good luck, and happiness. Again, very similar to the meaning connected to the swastika over there to this day. Some cultures also have in their lore a clear connection between the frog or toad and the moon. That same connection is found in the Americas, from the Olmec, the Inca, to the Native American symbolism to this day. I am not going to deepen this out here too much. I will leave it to the ones interested to go look and read upon this for yourselves. What I would like to address, though, is just a little bit to close off, is the connection to the connection between the early depictions of the great goddess with numerous petroglyphs found all over the world, displaying a figure in the same pose. These are called the Squatterman petroglyphs, but now I think calling it the Squatter Woman would be more appropriate. There is extraordinary work done by the mythologists working in the Thunderbolts Project on the true origins of this particular stick figure. They convincingly show us why it is, or how it is possible that the same petroglyphs reoccur in ancient sites all over the world. The only reasonable explanation for that would be indeed that the early people saw this in the only place they all had in common, namely the sky above us. If this idea is totally new to you, I would recommend watching the documentaries they made and that are available on the net. All links will be in the about section under the video. I hope you found this video interesting enough. As an introduction, I just wanted to touch on the subject because it had sparked my curiosity, and I did find several good reads going a bit deeper into the subject. I will probably make more of these shorter additional videos while I journey on, and I hope you will join. For now, that's it. Have a nice one, and talk to you soon.